this option. Okay, this is called the more options, and if you click this, we'll get this 3 icons, one with the tip and tricks. So if you press this, you will basically have some tips and tricks of OpenBrush. Okay, you can look into it. Next we have our labs. So if we press this, we'll get this panel. So firstly we have the multi-mirror. If you press this, similarly to mirror where we have only one what do you say, division in between our canvas, here we'll have multi-mirror. So you can see we are able to sketch in like different type of mirrors. Okay, so here also you can see there is a small triangular icon just below your multi-mirror icon. So if you keep holding this, you'll get all these various type of mirrors. Okay, you can look into it and basically experiment. Okay, so this is your multi-mirror. Next we have the option to export. So after you are done with your artwork, you can just press the export, and then you can see our file has got exported. Then you can find the file in your PC or in your VR headset. So you just have to go in your document folder in your PC, then go to OpenBrush. Then you'll have a folder called exports. There you will find your file. So your file will be exported in 3 formats: GLB, OBJ, and your FBX. Okay, after that you can just import it to Blender or Unity, then work with your finishing touches. Okay, so this is your export. And lastly we have your save selected strokes to model catalog. So this also works kind of like an export, but it's still experimental. So you can see this icon, right, with the flask, blue flask. So this means this function is still experimental, so yeah, you can avoid it for now. Next is your drafting lines. So this one I am not sure what it actually does, so if you guys can figure it out, so do let me know. Next we have model pin. So this function works along with your guides. So suppose I'll take cube guide, and if you're sketching in your guide like this, and for example you want to move your sketch, so I'll just go and select the sketch like this. So your guide will also get selected along with it, right? So we don't want that sometimes. So what you can do, just select the model pin, and you can basically uh, lock your guide in this space. Basically it will see, you can see the model pin icon here. So now if you try to select, only your sketches will get selected here. Okay, so your cube is now locked in this place. So now if you want to remove this again, just grab your cube like this with your grab controller and press the index trigger in your right hand controller. See? Okay, so this is your function of model pin. Next we have your webcam. So you can enable some webcam features in your OpenBrush. And you also have your spectator camera. So if you toggle this on, and if you are collaborating with someone else in a multiplayer mode maybe, then spectators can come and see your artwork from this angle. Okay, so you can basically save your artwork in a angle which you prefer. Okay, so this is your spectator camera, and this you have your scripts. So you can also basically code something and make some artwork with it. So this is not advisable for beginners. So maybe if you are more advanced and you have some experience into like scripting, then you can use this. Okay, so this is your labs option. Next we have your settings. So if you press this, we'll get this panel. So this is your like additional general settings option. First we have the help. So if you click this, you'll get some like this release notes, help center, privacy policy, terms and services. Okay, simple stuff. Then if you press this, will be transported into like the OpenBrush website for more extra additional features. Next we have the change language. You can change the language with this. You can contribute, like you can donate something to OpenBrush if you want, since it's open source software. Next you have distance indicator. So this one works with your straight edge tool. Okay, so right now it's toggled on, so you can see the highlight, right? Let me turn this off. Here we have the straight edge tool. So now if I try to sketch, you can see the ruler, right? So basically you can measure how much measurement you want on your sketch. So this is your distance indicator. Next you have auto simplification. So right now this is on, so if I turn it off and if I sketch something, okay, this is on. Okay, so you can see the edges of my sketch, right? There are some it's not very smooth. So this is basically your auto simplification function. So if I now turn this on, if I try to sketch the same thing, you can see my edges are much smoother than this one. Okay, so this is your function of your auto simplification. Nextly we have this experimental brush. So normally you have access to all this brush, so you can see, right? These are all the brushes you have. But if you toggle the experimental brush, you can see we'll get more additional brush with this icon with the blue flask, right? So these are all your experimental brush which are still in development. Okay, next we have the swap hands. So if you click this, will basically change your dominant hand. If you're left-handed, so you can access this tool. You also have shortcut for the swap hands. So if you just take both the controllers like this and tap your controllers, you'll basically swap your hands. Okay, so this is a shortcut. Lastly you have a tutorials. So this one you can look for some extra tutorial videos. Next we have these three sliders. This is your brush tip angle. So currently you can see my pointer, right? This is facing in this direction. So if I change it, you can see it has changed now. So this is up to your preference how you want to control your brush strokes. Okay, you can see. So this is my most comfortable angle. Yeah, this one. Next you have your visual quality. With this you can enhance your visual quality. And lastly is your stroke simplification, similar to this. Okay, so this thing, both are the same things. So this is all your function in your more options feature.